Looks like XPEV. Good morning, Darius. Looks like XPEV is $15 billion market cap. It's the only decent market cap that's up, gapping up this morning, 5%. And then second to that is a almost billion-dollar company, IRBT. So we'll take a look at some of those in a moment here. Okay, XPEV. Let's see if I can get the TikTok going at the same time. All right, XPEV had earnings a couple of days ago, so then why is it jumping this morning? Partner Volkswagen announces new EV platform for China. Okay. For some reason, this camera's not working. Let's see. Maybe if I unplug it and plug it back in. Well, that's strange. All right. No TikTok today, then. Good, that makes it easier. What's up? Good morning, Moriah Whitaker. Welcome. All right, XPEV up 5%. Let's see what's going on with FLJ. Very small cap. Yeah, I'd stay away from that. BGLC. This one has a nice pre-market chart. Could be worthwhile for you day trader, penny stock day traders. BGLC. Just good shape. Yeah, moves up, spikes, bases. There's kind of useful patterns here. You should be able to trade that. It's up 140% pre-market. IRBT. So that's BGLC. Put that over here. BGLC. You know, it's very small cap. 5 million float. Micro float. I mean, it's got everything you would want as a penny stock day trader if that's what you do. IRBT. This looks like a possible buyout, but let me see the news. Deal set. Jumps on report that Amazon deal set to win EU approval. Amazon to receive unconditional EU approval for iRobot deal. Roomba maker iRobot soars after Amazon to win EU nod for acquisition. Wow, that's pretty cool. But this acquisition price is set at what? $1.4 billion acquisition deal, $51.75 a share, and it's currently at 38. So there's some nice room there. Roomba. There's some nice Roomba there between 39, which is where it's at now, to 51.75, where it's eventually going to be acquired by Amazon. That difference is the risk of the deal not going through. So if that's something you want to get in and then you wait it out for a month or two, or it could even be less, or it could even be longer, that could be an acquisition trade in your portfolio. It's at 39 now, and it'll be acquired for 51.75. So that's 51.75 divided by 39. 33% upside in just a couple of months. That's pretty good. Problem is the risk. So if the deal doesn't go through or something doesn't happen, and then plus today, that's not official. It just looks like the EU is going to approve this thing. The stock's going to go back to 30. So you would lose 24%. That's if the deal doesn't work out. But I guess it's looking pretty good. So the probability is more than a coin flip. It's more than 50-50. So therefore you weight the two different sides. Minus 24% plus 37%, I think is what I said. And you put a probability and you multiply those by their probabilities. Something like 80-20. 80% of it going through, 20% of it not. And now you have a 0.8 times 0.36. And you have 0.2 times 0.247. And now you have your risk reward of such a trade, if you were ever to put that on. So 0.8 times 51.75 divided by 39. 0.8, 51.75 divided by 39.8 is 1.06. Something's not right with that, I think. What did I do wrong there? 58, let's go back here. 1.32, 33% chance of it happening. So I think I have to go -1 here. -1, yeah. And then you go 0.8 times. And so it's a 26% upside in the long run, EV, expected value. And then downside is minus 4.6, but here's what we can do. We can take those numbers and you multiply it so you can get the risk reward. 0.8 times 51.75 divided by 39 minus 1. Divide that by themselves. And yeah, there you get a 5.7 to 1 trade. That right there is great. And you might even be able to hedge that with some options. Let me see. Excuse me. Oof. Got some acid indigestion, whatever they call that. Reflux going on this morning. Must have to do with the Thanksgiving. Hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving yesterday. Thanksgiving dinner yesterday. Excuse me. And if you were to hedge, say, the downside on this, you could hedge 100 shares, which would be 38.80, like $4,000 roughly, $3,900 for something like $600 for 2 months. For 56 days, you could hedge for the downside. That'd be an out of the money put. Not down to 30. Yeah, and that wouldn't even fully protect you, but it would protect you a good clip. But so you could protect some of that downside even for about $500, something like that. So that's how much? Let's call it $600. 600 divided by 3,900, 15%. So if you wanted to make this trade as risk averse as possible, you put however much money you want to allocate towards this acquisition, and then you could grab the one I was talking about was the 35 put January to protect it. That's iRobot with has like a 33% upside in the next few months, if not weeks, if not days. If not today, it might run a lot today. that gap could close up. And then we've got a 26% downside, but the probability of those happening is 80-20, we assume, and we estimate. And then you protect the downside with the put, and it's a 5.6 risk reward trade. One time it won't happen, 6 times it will work out in your favor. Risk reward, but well, actually, it's more than that. But the risk reward is like almost 6-1. And then when you hedge it, it gets even better because you're hedging about half, so it actually doubles to about an 11-1. So it's a good idea to hedge it. It's a good idea to spend that 15% because in the long run, that means you're putting your capital at a 15-1 risk. 11-1 risk reward type of situation on an 80% chance. That's good shit over on iRobot. I don't have any money left. I'm fully allocated. So as much as I want to do that, yeah, I'm just fully allocated. But for some of you who aren't fully allocated and you like the idea, that is iRobot. IRBT. If you got here late, that's your own damn fault and you didn't hear the whole thesis. What can I do? What can I do? You're just not serious enough. All right. Next down that list is ICLK. We got 15 minutes before the market opens. I just want to check these and then we'll check the market. Today's the last day of the week, Friday. That looks like a buyout also. Agrees to merge. It's a merger. That looks pegged. $4.08 a share. No, what's this? Receive a cash payment of $816 per ordinary share and $4.08 per American depository share. Okay, so $4.08. That's probably what it's at then. $3.84. So there's no money to be made on that one. That'd be a buyout. The iRobot buyout, pretty tasty. Because you don't usually get that much upside left on getting in on a buyout, which has really a promising result. Amazon buying it, that's like that's the best. It's like Apple buying something or Microsoft. And then it looks like it's going to have regulatory approval and all that good stuff. It's, you don't come across those kinds of upsides and risk reward very often. T-Bio, nah. FIFI. Faraday Future Intelligent Electric. Boy, this stock is in the dumps. Nope, and it doesn't look good. As far as how it's popped. Fisker, that's been on a drop to hell for a couple months now. It is up in pre, just a little bit. It's a little dead cat bounce. Probably on some news. Rises after finance and accountant leadership change. So it's got some leadership change and some finances changes mentioned in their 10Q filing. And keep going here. Effica ASMB. Nope. I mean, this is why you just stay away from anything under $1 billion market cap. But 300 million is a, if you things can vary. Something might be up double in the morning, and it might be showing on your screener as 300 million. And instead, because it's doubled, it's like at 680 million actually, but it might show on your screener for yesterday's and for data. So, you have to be careful about how you screen. You have to keep your screens a little bit open to getting false positives. PHGE. Nope. All right, so that was XPEV. What did we put here? XPEV, iRobot, buyout, opportunity. It looks like a great opportunity. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna just write my mom about that one because that might be something that interests her. She might not be watching this show. All right. Okay, that's good. Oh, I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. Am I live? Did I? Yeah. All right. Cool. I'm also streaming out to Twitch and Twitter and YouTube and a couple different platforms. Hello, everybody, everywhere. All right, let's talk about the market. Because we went through pretty much the big opportunities this morning. iRobot. Maybe I should take a quick look at PXMD, although that thing's been all over the place. How much time we got? Yeah, we got 10 minutes. Okay. It always feels good to know that you've checked under the hood of, every rock in the morning, every stone. Don't ever leave a stone unturned. Nope, not this one. Okay, over to the growth market. That'd be the QQQ. And if you're interested in knowing what SPY is doing, that's what you're out there. You're like, oh, well, what about the S&P 500? And you have less than 3 years of experience, you're fucking barking up the wrong tree, bro. Just follow the cues. The cues are the growth market. The S&P 500 is muted by value stocks, defensives, and staples. If you want to find out what's really happening, you go to the cues. And what we see here is that the cues are set to open at Friday's close. That's interesting because this morning has been a little bit up and down battle. As a matter of fact, S&P 500 with value stocks and defensives and staples and Tesla and a couple other things in there is in a little bit of a better shape. So we always check both. But, you got to start with the cues to see what's leading, because growth leads, including it can lead you down. So the cues are set to open right at the close of Wednesday. Did I say Friday? Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. And by the way, Monday, we broke new all-time highs on the market. I don't think we really said that. Monday, we broke new all-time highs on the growth market on NASDAQ. I got to double check something. If that was, actually, I don't know if that was all-time highs, but it was a yearly high. Okay, so let me just double check that. Yeah, we haven't broke all-time highs yet, but this pattern is really beautiful and it has the potential to do so. However, on Monday, we slammed up against a previous high from July when we peaked out. So we actually are breaking out of this base that we've been in for the last half of this year, literally the last half from July 1st. And sometimes that can result in a fake out, which becomes a base on a base, which is a very good pattern. Even if you get a fake out, a base on a base is still a very good pattern. So if that's what happens over the next few weeks and we start pulling back, the next breakout could be it. And if that's not it, then it's the next breakout, so that's the way it goes. You never know which one's going to be the one. But I can rest assured, the minute you give up, that's going to be the one. Without fail, every time. So, show up for the market every day, because you never know which day is going to be the big one. But we're in a really stupendous run over the last few weeks. Really incredible. This will be 4 weeks of just serious gains on the markets, and in some stocks they've ran huge, bigly. So let's go take a look at the S&P 500 as well, and get an idea and sense for that shape. Yeah, as I said, it's opening just a smidge above Wednesday's close. Altogether, between the growth market and the S&P 500, it's basically opening at Wednesday's close. So we're just taking the ball from where we had it. Now, remember, I believe, I have to go back and check for sure, but yeah, Wednesday was quite a struggle. It was a doji day, and we had a big Monday. We had a really nice, strong Monday, but Wednesday was a doji day going into Thanksgiving. And when we looked at the seasonality of pre-election years over the last 100 years, we find that the markets decline for the next 2 days: Friday after Thanksgiving and Monday coming in from the weekend. But that's only a certain percent of the majority of the time. So this could be one of the exceptions. So we'll see what happens. But we're slamming up on the S&P 500. We're slamming up near resistance, a resistance level, and on the Qs we're kind of poking out of those July highs without conviction on low volume. And so volume is, like I always say, a lie detector. Volume is high volume is truth telling. Low volume is it's lying to you. So we're going up, but on low volume. So we've got a bit to overcome there. But today's Friday, day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and historically, seasonality wise, the next 2 days deflate actually in prices across the markets. So that's something we could think about. Maybe that'll happen. How do you guys like the new sort of studio look or whatnot? I'm working on it. It's like, every day it's a new upgrade. But, I'm glad to be sitting in front of a real work in progress. Thanks. Bastard. Well, thank you for the mid vote of confidence there. All right, market's going to open in 4 minutes, and let's get over to watching what we're going to be watching. Also, has anybody gotten in any of these spreads I've been posting? Has anybody gotten any of the covered calls I've been posting? Has anybody gotten any of the special trades? I also have been posting some growth entry trades as well. So I'm just curious, if you guys have been doing anything with any of these positions that I've been alerting. For one thing, the Save Airlines covered call, I'm probably going to turn that into a covered strangle, which is an exotic. It's a rare type of options trade where you can get even more out of more return out of a options covered options situation, and usually is best fit for low price stocks, such as something like $10 and $13, something like that. And that's exactly where Save Spirit Airlines is. So I'll probably be turning that into a covered strangle here this morning. Yeah, cool. RJ, good morning. Yeah, RJ, I sent you a message. See if you can screenshot so I just know what your strikes are and stuff and what you got them for, what prices and all that, and so make sure you're doing it right. You could have the opposite of what's you're supposed to, and be getting positive confirmation because you're up one day, and we should just double check on that. You want essentially for the closest price to the money when you got in to be the one you sell if you're selling. They call that the inner strikes. You get the outer strikes, but that doesn't mean in the money, out of the money. But the ones that are closest to price when you're entering, those should be sold. And then it's the ones outside of that, further out, that are bought back in order to cap your unlimited risk. It's basically how that works. All right, so if any of you arrived late, iRobot offering a 36% upside to the $51.75 buyout price. EU looks set to approve the regulatory requirements for this transaction to go through. Amazon buying iRobot, IRBT. I believe we said 24% downside if the whole thing falls apart. Here at $39 entry, it would go back to $30. But otherwise, it's about an 80% chance, we estimate, to hit about $51.75. I think this is the best opportunity this morning. And it's not a trade, it's more of an investment. And it could take a month or two or longer or faster to go through. But I think, opportunity wise, that's something you don't see very often. You don't get the opportunity to get a 36% or 35% upside on an Amazon acquiring some company. Roomba, iRobot, a brand that's not going anywhere. It's fantastic. It's kind of like the name. So that's a pretty good opportunity there. And that would be on iRobot. All right, we got 20 seconds before the market opens. We're also watching this BGLC for penny stock traders. BGLC, best opportunity this morning for penny stock trading. All right, market is open. Okay, iRobot hitting 39, hitting 39.20, hitting 39.50, hitting 39.55. iRobot getting bought up on this deal announcement, and I think with this much upsides, looks like a good risk reward opportunity. I got to go check on Riot. All right, the market's bleeding out at the open. So that causes everything to be playing right into my hands. What an about face. I mean, exactly as we predicted, huh? The market selling off at the open strongly. That's the kind of reversion that causes price to play right back into our iron condors hands. Let's see here. Microsoft, what was I checking there? Okay. I have to watch out for the level of 360. And it's at 377. Okay, looking good. And the other one I wanted to check was UNH. Anybody else get this UNH trade? Boy, UNH doing great. This was a seasonal trade. UNH to rise for 10 days, which it has done 100% of the time, 10 out of 10 prior years from November 21st to basically like December 2nd, I believe it was. And it is doing it. Count this as year number 11. So our trade on that is working out. We're up 56% on the put credit spread on that one. NVIDIA popping, that's going to help the market a little bit. All right, send the screenshot to me, RJ, and I can quickly see, whether it's and then I can even comment on it now if you wanted to, like so you could hear what I have to say. Coin. Wow, we've hit 97% profitability on the D-Dog trade. That's because it's expiring today with our Iron Condor, and I guess there's no chance in hell for it to get outside our strikes. So D-Dog, hole in one. And of course, Dick's Sporting Good, we've already earlier this week hit 100% on that. By the way, the percentage on spreads means the percent of your max possible gain achieved. It's not a P&L like a return on investment. Kind of strange, but that's how, at least that's how they do it at TDA. Yeah, D-Dog just hit 100%. So it just means you've hit max return. So when you hear, that, a spread has made 100%, it doesn't mean it doubled the money. It doesn't double your money. It means it hit the max profit, which when you put it on, might have been, okay, it cost $450 to make $50, which would be, let's do the math on that, 50 divided by 450, 11%, right? And so when it says 100%, it means you got 100% of that 11% return on your capital risked. Cool thing about that is, though, that it could have been over the course of just 1 week, even a day, 2 weeks. So then you annualize that, and you could be talking about 500%, 1,000%, 2,000% annual return on those kinds of trades, which are sometimes 80, 90, 95% to win. All right, the market now has retraced that dip, and it's now coming back to the open. Kind of dojiing, but meantime, NVIDIA remains probably one of the strongest movers. I'm already sitting pretty. I mean, what are we? Just a couple of minutes off of the open, and I've done nothing but just watch my spreads appreciate, up or down. They're just decaying right into my hands. And I've got about 2R already. By the end of the day, knock on wood, you expect that to be even more. I've been doing about 5R a day. Let me see if that's right. Maybe it's 4R. No, it's been about 3.5R. Actually, yeah, I remember when I went through that a couple days ago. 3.5R. That's still very good. As you know, 1% per year is, what is it, guys? 1%, sorry, 1% per day is, who can remember what the end of year, what 1% per day would get you compounded by the end of the year? I'm trying to remember. I think it's 400%. Let's see, 1,000%. Is that right? Wait, let me double check. 1.01 to the power of 251 trading days because of, what is that new Biden holiday? It's called, what a weird holiday it's called. Anyway, it's no longer 252 trading days in the year. There's 251. Yeah, 1,200%. That's right, Dennis. Yeah. So I'm doing 3.5. So I'm not even going to project that because, Ray Dalio says the minute you start extrapolating your gains into the future and then you start celebrating, that's the minute you lose everything. But, doing pretty good. iRobot pulling back to like 38.20. See, now when it's behaving like this and it's a good thing to get in, you go and switch over to the 5-minute dip buy strategy. Oh, as a matter of fact, this chart's on the 5-minute. Usually you use the 1-minute. Yeah, so a little scraggly back and forth open on iRobot. UNH, yeah, still doing good. SPX. Now, other movers this morning are CrowdStrike. It's going to be reporting earnings on Wednesday. I believe Wednesday of next week, or it just did report. Or I have to double check on this right now. But let me just take a quick look at SPX. Okay, good. Now, CrowdStrike. Its earnings are coming up in, or already happened, or they're coming up in 4 days. Yeah, I believe it's Wednesday of next week. We'll have CrowdStrike coming out. Zscaler at the end of Monday. So you guys should be watching my alerts today. Also, the spread trading channel, because typically I do not give alerts until the end of the day, power hour. And that's just because price can change so much during the day. So we only go with what we're confident with by the end of the day that it's going to close as I've alerted it, right? And so that's why alerts typically go out there. But if you look in our member channels like spread trading and just member chat, I'm posting ideas all day. I'm getting in things. I'm putting on trades, or I've got trade ideas that I can't get into that I'm sharing with you guys that you could get into. I'm sharing those in those channels, so you should be watching those because I will be probably doing things based on what I'm seeing. When it comes to the spread trading stuff, your job is less stressful about the trading, although you do need to know what you're doing. It's a little bit more hands off, and you can watch just everything just sort of gestate and bake in the oven. And it's more the frenzy and the fury and the FOMO is more about keeping your tank full, because you want your money working for you. And so you just constantly scanning for anything new to rotate into. CrowdStrike looks so good. The way it's formed there, based on just how it's forming, which is not necessarily predictive, but based on just how it's forming, it appears that the earnings are going to be a surprise beat. But that's going to sell off because everyone bought in running up to it. That'd be gap theory analysis for you there. Okay, the market has retraced about 80% down its opening range. And I'm about to get us to just go back into the group. So if there's anything else you want me to take a quick look at, I'm happy to do so. And then we're going to jump back into the group. My Twitter's been ramping up. I'm 2 away from 1,000 followers, and it's been ramping up in speed, so that's pretty cool. So I've been posting a little bit more on it. If you are not following me on Twitter, that's Evan Evans USA to find me, Evan Evans USA, or you can look up the word chart trader. That ought to pull me up. It'll pull up chart trader Evan Evans, and don't forget to follow me over there. I do post lots of ideas and wisdom on trading. That's all I do. That's all I try to focus that account on. I try to stay out of the politics or cute kittens and all that stuff and keep it just primarily the reason why you would follow me and just feed you that information that I love to share. So that could be a great place for you to get my ideas, to get alerted about what I'm talking about. So no, nothing. Okay. All right. Let's move back into the group, everybody. And thank you. Hopefully that gets you orientated in the morning. Let's have a really quick look at the market to see if anything's kind of happening on the daily chart. Yeah. So I mean, this is not exactly a big green day, but it could happen. You've seen it before. These things could just rip off the bottom. Today you never know. But what I'm seeing is low volume the last few days, lack of conviction on this breakout. Low volume breakout equals fake out. We're at resistance levels, so that's a reason why that could be. And we'll either continue to base around here, or we're gonna end up pulling back for a week or two, and then maybe throttle off, through New Year's to new highs. So we'll see. Today, I expect potentially there to be a lot of resistance and low volume. It's projected to be a very low volume day right now. It's very low volume. All right, everybody, back into the group. Thank you very much. All right, RJ, send me that screenshot.